All right, let's talk about a big problem I see with art YouTube in general. And the funny thing is I am still guilty about this to this day. Hey there, my name is Eric Doggett. I am an artist based in sunny Orlando, Florida. I am a licensed artist with Disney Fine Art, and I was also the first artist in residence at Skywalker Ranch in California. All right, let's talk about something that I see happening in art YouTube in general. And as I mentioned earlier, it's still applying to me, and I still have to kind of steer myself clear of it sometimes and not get caught in the trap. So let's back up a little bit. Let's say you've started your art business, you've worked on a style, technique, subject matter that you like, and you're getting really good at that, so you want to start selling your work. So perhaps you put together a website, you get all your products lined up on there, you start posting to social media, and maybe you have a couple sales initially from some friends and family, but it just doesn't start getting a lot of traction. And so you start to think, okay, well, maybe it's my art itself. I need more art, or I need better art. I got to improve in some ways. So you focus on that for a while. You put some new products up there, and still there's not a lot of traction, not a lot of sales. And so someone at some point says to you, you know what you should do is you should start a YouTube channel, because that's going to allow you to connect with a bunch of people, get a much wider audience. And so you're like, okay, maybe I'll give that a shot. Don't know much about cameras or lenses, so you go down this rabbit hole of learning about cameras and lenses and lighting and post-production and all of that. You start making your first couple videos. You find they take a lot of time. You spend a lot of time making these videos. It actually cuts into your art time maybe. And you post the first couple videos. You get some views, but nothing's really kicking off with that either. You're not getting an art sales. You're maybe getting a minimal number of views in general. And so you kind of get in this mindset of nothing's working, and maybe I should just make more videos. Maybe I should do more TikToks or whatever it is, and you're sort of lost. When it comes to videos on YouTube, what I have found, and I'm just going to share my experiences here, the types of videos I've put out so far are things like, if you look at them so far, gesso, how to do an isolation coat, things like that. Those types of videos, if those are the ones you're creating, those are videos for other artists. They may or may not be videos for your ideal customer. And you really need to focus on who your customers are and where they're at, and start thinking about ways to connect with them. So to give you an example, when it comes to the Disney work I've been doing, I've only been doing this for that part of the work for about a year or so. What I have found is that the sales I've made for original paintings have all been through personal relationships I've had with people offline. These we live in Orlando area, so these are people that I've met, friends through different events and kind of around the Disney adjacent world, and those are the people that have purchased my work. Now, I will make social media posts all the time on Instagram or Facebook about something I'm working on, or I'll make a video about releasing a new art piece. And sometimes I will get a sale because, somebody that I know saw that video, but it's usually, to this point, have been mostly people that I've met in real life and those relationships. So one way to think of this is there's an artist mentor that I had several years ago named Noah Elias, a great artist that's done a lot of Disney work and worked with other kind of top tier brands. And I remember in one of his mentoring sessions that we were at several years ago, he said that art is a memento between you and the buyer. In other words, it's a memento of a relationship that you have with the person that's buying the art. So they might buy it because they're interested in the subject matter, but they're also buying it because of you. Perhaps they've just had a lot of fun hanging out. They like your conversations. You become friends over time, something like that. So there's generally more to it than, I just saw your art and bought it. At least that's what I found for my sales to this point. They're offline people. They might buy, like I said, because they saw something I put on social media. But in general, these are people that I've met outside of the world of social media. That's not to say you can't have sales from Instagram and YouTube and all. Of course you can. What I'm suggesting is you need to think about where your customers are and then trying to figure out ways to connect with them. Don't get caught into the trap of, I just need to make YouTube videos and those customers will come over time. Now, as I mentioned, there's the irony here, because if you look at the videos I've posted so far, they have been technique videos included in there, things for other artists. So how do I square that? Well, the way I look at it is I'm creating these videos for one reason, and that's not necessarily to attract customers or anything like that. It is to be in service to others, to other artists. So if I can tell you something that might help you with your own art business and maybe it even saves you some time. I've spent several years trying to figure this stuff out. If I can take some of that time off of it for you, then that's great. And that's why I'm making those videos. I realize that other artists are watching these. I'm not looking to other artists to buy my art. I have no, 30 days to become an acrylic painter or anything like that. Maybe I will at some point, but as of right now, I have no plans for that. So the takeaway here is to think about where your customers are and how to best meet them. They might be social media. Of course, there's a social media component to all of this. You've got to post the stuff for sale. You got to post links to a website. You've got to, share what you're working on. So definitely there's a social media part to whatever path you take with this. But think about where those customers are. If you can reach them online, great. If there's somewhere that you can reach offline, then, take notice of that and start figuring out ways to meet those offline customers. For example, let's say you paint, I don't know, pets. We'll say pets. You do pet paintings. You might find a fair number of customers online. You might also find customers locally, maybe at galas or kind of fundraising events where there's auctions that you can donate your work to be auctioned off. And then over time, you start to become connected with people, the type of people that goes to those events. And those are the type of people that buy art, and you establish those relationships over time. So that's just one example. It does not need to be everything on social media all the time. And if you're not making, YouTube videos all the time, then your business is going to suffer. I fall into this trap a lot. I create this type of content and then have to remind myself, look, it's great to help other artists. Just don't get in the mindset that that's going to be what makes your business explode necessarily. All right, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.